Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. Welcome to another segment of the Queen G Live Experience. Listen, guys, I have an amazing message for you really quick, and then I'm going to bring in my special celebrity guest, Mr. TJ Gibson. So I don't know about you guys, but lately and daily, I've been doing things to like live and walk in my purpose as if I'm already there. So I don't know if you guys understand this, but faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I want to talk about that just briefly because if you see my makeup, if you look at my earrings, if you see the style of hat I have on, or if you listen to the way I've been speaking lately, or any of those things, if you've been tuning in to the Queen G Live Experience, you would understand what I'm saying. So if you guys are out there in the world, make sure that as you step forward into your future, that there are things that you have to do to kind of put yourself already there, as if you're there, walking in it already at that moment. I know, I don't know if you guys know or are familiar with extreme levels of faith, but I am there. And I just wanted to put that on your heart and mind that this is serious, you guys. Live and exist in your purpose as if it already is. And that's the message I wanted to start with. I want to bring my special guest on, Mr. TJ Gibson, my brother. I call him my brother. Um, this is the brother that I've had access to over the years. That's
That's
him
him.
laughing.
Yeah.
And he understands what I
No,
mean by
no,
that. This
absolutely
is
not,
the
dude.
brother that we just, every time we get together, it is just love. And, we have these real in-depth conversations about life and just all of that. And we're family. We're family. It's different than entertainers. You know what I mean? But we happen to also be entertainers as well. And it's just always amazing catching up with him. He is powerful, amazing. He just blows me away, his presence sometimes. I just, this is my brother, but it's shocking to sit back and just watch the way that God operates and uses his life in these different capacities. So I want y'all to sit back. I want y'all to go on this journey with us. We're gonna sit here and talk and rap and just have our conversation and do our thing like we always do. Y'all welcome my special guest, Mr. TJ Gibson, my bro.
What up, Sean? So let's address the first order of business. You referred to me as your celebrity guest. That's I've never heard that of myself. That's that's dope though. I appreciate it. And I'll add that to the fact that you brought up that we should walk in our callings as though we're already there. So respect. Where'd you go?
I'm here. I was hitting some
Yo,
wrong technical buttons and it
yeah,
just,
I felt like that newscaster. You know what I'm saying? I'm live on the scene and like back to you, Sean. He was like, I'm sitting
right.
there like,
Where is she?
ah, man, man.
My
But
bad.
no,
I pressed the wrong button and it just didn't let me back. I was like, ooh, hold on.
no, I get it. I get it. I
I'm
get it.
here. Hey, brother, how are you?
All is well, Sean. All is well. Look at this fancy platform you got going right now. This ain't Facebook Live. This is what a StreamYard.
StreamYard, yeah, it's
Oh,
a little bit of an upgrade. The last
oh,
time we spoke, it was a little grainy, and we was just chilling, and it was what it was. But this is a
right,
little more
right,
earthy.
right,
You know what I'm
right, right.
saying?
Right. It's like a strainer. You know what I mean? It takes all the jank out of it. Look at
Right,
you, the tea. Hold on, let me get mine.
right. I got my tea. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
I'm
right.
in this thing. I'm in this
All right.
thing. Welcome to the Queen G Live Experience officially. You know what I mean?
Boom.
I almost feel weird because you're my brother, but You know what I'm saying? We gotta bring this to the live audience, so we gotta kind of be professional. But you're my brother
Exactly.
too.
You see me? I got my blazer on, so you know I had to blaze up.
You even stepped it up for the occasion. You know what I'm
You
saying?
feel me? You
Normally we
did.
kick it in shorts, and we
Hello.
brother and sister, so
Well, no, I'm
it's
not gonna show you. I'm not gonna show you what I like. I'm at the crib, so I'm not gonna show you what I got on. I got this jacket on and a shirt and some socks. So
right.
I'm kidding.
And listen. You don't want to know what's going on below my waist either. Okay.
Yo, the shot,
Yeah.
man.
So where you at? What you doing on your side of the world? What's been going on in your life? I know it's COVID. Everything is, intense right now.
Right.
What you been up to, bro? And how have you been surviving through this COVID situation? Considering you're an entertainer and a singer and things like that. How have you been
I mean,
working through this?
let's just start with as a human. I mean, we were talking a little bit prior to this about just I'm a hermit, like you know, simply put. So it's kind of like now I'm watching everybody else have to kind of meld into that process. So it's kind of like everyone's trying to figure out how to be a hermit and how to be social at the same time. And I kind of took this time to just get the basics together. You know what I mean? Like I've done a lot in life, and I never really took as much time as it as I should have to just handle all the you know uh, basic duties in life to be simple. You know what I mean? Like in order to like handle
Ooh,
business without having to be there, and not have to count on anyone to speak on my behalf or narrate the story of any sort. It's kind of like making sure that you know I'm all in one place. You know, and I'm aiming my efforts in directions that you know I see fit. And right now, first order of business is music. I'm visiting all the stuff that I've been working on over the years and, compiling, different pieces that fit and putting projects out. So I have a lot of material
right.
that I have yet to put out. So that's
And
the
I know
first
what
quarter.
you mean by that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Because I have seen you sit on the edge of a bathtub and come up with lyrics. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yo, that's
You have look in your mode to create or your flow of creating. You know what I'm saying? I've seen you block out the whole entire house, go into the restroom, pull out your
yeah,
notebook, and
yep,
sing and write right there on the edge of the tub.
yep.
You ain't never been but a buck 05, so you know what I mean?
You feel me?
Past the buck 05.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, what I'm talking about. I always been a slim little player, but at the end of the day, I got my weight up. You know what I'm saying? And so I got the grown blazer right now. So I'm not on the empty tub, but
So
I tell you
I
this,
do like what you said though, Tim, that this time has allowed you to take care of some personal things.
right,
And for entertainers that are always on the go, always on the run, always, in the grinches of hitting the stage, doing this, doing that, writing, you're traveling state to state, you're doing this, you're doing that. We really don't have time to take care of private,
right,
personal things like the average person. You kind of
right,
are rushing to do that when you get a minute.
right.
You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and,
So
and beyond, it's kind of like as I'm putting together whatever it is I want, the public to see or know about me in my private time. It's kind of like if I don't compile that correctly, there's a lot of zealous people around that, they have outlets or DJs or whatever. They'll make sure that, they'll toss some music in and they'll, throw this out or put that out. And it's kind of like without having your basic necessities down, you won't recognize what's out. You won't recognize what, if like me putting a project together, that's an idea, a compilation of, of ideas that make, a full thought. So it's kind of like if I put something out, that's what mode I was in. But if I'm not
Right.
aware of how that, affects the universe, then I won't know what to
So,
put in
so,
the
so I
process.
know
So,
what you're saying. I kind of have an idea of what you're saying. Even sitting back, right, and being able to see how your music impacts others, you don't have
right.
time for that usually. You know
No.
what I mean? You
Yeah,
don't
I'd
have
like to
time
just
to see how your lyrics from the songs that you wrote may have impacted a person's life. But
correct.
COVID has allowed that, right? It has given you that space to
Well,
actually
it
feel more.
absolutely, and everything comes full circle. You know what I mean? It's kind of like everything kind of illuminates it and highlights itself, and you start to realize things and put things together. And that nerd side of me, I'm always, I'll always put the puzzle pieces together and say, okay, that's what, and then at that point, I'm thinking, okay, this is the project I need to put out now. Then, or that's the project I need to put out now. Then,
Right.
but yeah, that dual awareness that does it.
Wow, that and I know that is so amazing and powerful. I was just telling you off camera that this year has been a year for writing for me. This past year, during the COVID, I was already in hermit mode before the year hit, but
Right.
when it was like confirmed that you probably about to be in the house for a while, I went
Right.
into writing overload, and it was like a writing crack addict. I don't know if you've ever heard it described like that, but you know
Never,
what I'm
ever,
saying?
ever, ever. But you know what? Though I get it. I get it.
Did you do a lot of
Absolutely.
writing this past year during COVID?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's why I'm talking like this. It's kind of like I have so much to say, but it's kind of like I don't want to. I'm an artist, so I'm not trying to sit here and talk it all out. I would like,
Right.
you got to put material out. If you back up, you know what I mean. If you're artistically constipated, it's kind of like, you have to.
Ooh,
Boom.
I like
Yeah,
that word. Artistically constipated.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
backed up with all these lyrics. Like, woo,
All up,
wait,
and
that
it's
was
kind of
good.
like,
That was good.
you
You
know,
gonna make me throw this cup. Oh my God, that was deep. I like that word. I like that word.
you know. So yeah, ah,
So
here's something
much.
else.
So much, so much. I understand, brother. Like, listen, creatively, I get what you're saying. It almost knocks the wind out of you. It's
Right,
so
right, right,
much.
right, right,
Like,
right,
it's
right,
so intense. And I know the words are like coming at you fast. You can't even write them down fast enough. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right,
you
right,
can't even
right.
put them down on paper quick enough.
You can't
Like,
put them
it's
on paper
crazy.
quick enough. Yep. It,
So,
before something else comes.
let me for our audience, I want to know. Can you tell us some of the people that you've sung with, legends wise, and
Man, man. Come on,
tell us
Sean.
just name some of the people that you perform with
Sean,
uh, in your
Sean,
career?
Sean, Sean, Sean. I, you know what? This is probably that is my greatest issue. The fact that like I like to think ahead. I don't like to think in terms of like behind me. So it's like when I'm thinking about who I've worked with or I want to talk about. I wrote a record for an amazing artist by the name of Mackenzie Soul. He's from the UK. Actually, what is
The
the name?
UK, okay.
Yeah, I'll just say the UK. They're gonna get mad because it's a very specific area outside of the UK. But anyways, but it's not America. Let's say that much. But an amazing singer songwriter, vocalist, and you know, uh, he has a project coming out that I have work on it. I worked with him for since he was, maybe 13 or 14. So he's, I guess, like 19, maybe 20 now. But um,
Mm.
amazing music. I'm not the best at, at sitting here and talking about myself really, but
But you sung with like Casey JoJo, right?
I mean, yeah, at least I've sung with like a ton of people. You know what I mean?
A
Yeah, of
plethora,
course, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like,
The wait, legendary what's that group? Earth, Wind and Fire.
yes, yes, I would say
Do you need me to name
absolutely.
some people for you?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I, if you like, it's fun. But like that, that's like, yeah, of course, Earth, Wind, man, like Verdine, that was someone that really impacted me musically, and that really broke down this industry and the game, and music, and
That's
past,
amazing.
present, and future. Like, um, I'm kind of in a place where now, I love to sing, I love music, I love performing, I love writing, I love production and everything, but I love all areas and aspects of music in a way that I'm kind of in a place where I want to evolve into,
Right.
evolve beyond just singing songs. I want to, help orchestrate, put things together to where we can go into the future with soul music and, R&B, and tie it into what's going on in the world, because, you know, soul music specifically like comes from an era of, struggle,
Right.
black struggle. So it's kind of like now that we're in this new, you know, era, it's kind of like redefining what struggle is, and kind of like, um, you know, people don't really know how much, you know, the soul genre like seeps into
Yeah.
every other genre. So it's kind of like now,
So when you say you want to write in the capacity of music touching the causes of the world, kind of like I just seen a movie last night called One Night in Miami, right?
right? I've been hearing about that movie.
Um, and Sam Cooke was one of the characters in the film.
Wow,
And you know that song, I was born by a
right,
river.
right.
You know that
Sam Cooke is my
would
idol,
that
man.
be the type of music that you're saying that's gonna change lives and impact the culture and impact our world? And that's what you're saying, right? Making reference to what
I,
you're looking to do is
that you
to
hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what that song. Let's just say that song specifically. What that song did for era is it encapsulated an era. When you hear the song, you see people getting sprayed down, the sidewalks with water hoses. You see the dogs. You see, you know, where there was all sorts of space to overcome, and now we got to this place where, um, you know, there's no longer a "we shall overcome" song.
oh
So
yeah.
like we have that vibe right now, but it's kind of like how do we discuss what's going on in the world? And we're all integrated now, but at one point we were segregated. So as a people, as Black people, we had our own zone that we built, and that we expressed ourselves, in terms of our struggles and stuff. But now it's like, with business and organizations and all this sorts of stuff, it's like, um with that integration, it's hard to put heart, soul, and feeling into just you know politics. It's so much
Right.
politics. It's so political now. Everybody
Listen,
wants to know
I can
who.
only imagine what's gonna come out of the recent civil unrest in the White House. What lyrics gonna come out of that? Tim, I know you are in the lab
Absolutely.
creating something funky off of that kind of stuff. Those situations, world causes, world issues, racial injustices that are going on. Our youth being murdered. It's a lot going on
It's
in our world. And I know that during this year of being in the lab and creating, I know that those kind of lyrics are rolling out of your bosom. You know what I mean? You don't have no bosom, but out of your bosom.
I got a little bosom, man. You know, if Abraham had a bosom, I can have a bosom. So yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, no, I dig it. No, you're right. I mean, I think everybody's finding a way to be creative, but like, we got to be kind of stationary creative in a way. But we have to. It's kind of like now that information is being brought to us, we're not seeking information as much anymore. It's kind of like there's space for those who compile information. Like there's information that we shun because we're just like we're not those people, we're these people, and we move like such. And I think if you know what I mean, I don't limit how I move, where I go, and who I interact with, because all those all those different perspectives, those are camera angles in the world. So like if I'm a storyteller, if I'm somebody who's artistic, who can actually put something together that people can understand, I can go to these spaces or I can be in worlds that I'm able to articulate musically or artistically, you know,
Right,
summing
I
up
get it.
anything. You know what I mean? From my
Right, right.
from my experience as a black man. So it's like, you know, I think it's a beautiful time to you know to tap into those who are creative, you know. So
Right, right, right. Let me ask you this. With your travels and things like that all over the world, what was the most impacting place that you've ever been that just really knocked the wind out of you and just you'll never forget that place or space? Because I know you've also traveled the world. You've been in places, the UK. Been over there for a length of time. You've been here, been there. What was the most impacting place that you've ever traveled to?
I can name two places. One, when I was younger, this was when we were living, we were all living together. It was like I'll say Tokyo was that changed a lot. You know what I mean? In terms of like that was my first time. I think I was like 19 or whatever. I think I just turned 19, but that was my first time really leaving and going into a place where culturally I was lost. You know what I'm saying? I had to find myself there. So it was like I was able to meld into culture and be respected for what I did as an artist, be taken seriously as an artist, and maybe take myself seriously. And place number two, Bermuda. That place really,
Wow.
Bermuda was a place that from the outside looking in, you wouldn't know what was there. Like what's promoted sometimes is what brings tourism and what brings money and whatever to to a place. But like that island right there was magical. It's like the culture there like is amazing. People that look like you and I, like it's like you highly educated and at the same time earthy. Um, and that opened my mind in
That's
up
awesome.
in a way
It looks
that
like you're putting yourself back in that space right now. Like it seemed like
lightweight,
you're even visualizing and remembering, you know what I mean, when you
right,
were there, like, ooh.
right.
You could taste it.
But actually, I was I got a chance to see the way that just it was a smaller smaller dichotomy, but I seen how politics worked at a high level and how it correlated to here in the states. And I learned a lot. Those are places that I got the information, but these last several years, I was able to organize that information and use it in my life. So now it really impacted me in terms of like how I approach the world with what I'm doing. That's why it's taken me so long to put anything out that I stamp off on.
Right,
Because
right, right.
that I do have a palette that gave me uh access to excellence, and understanding how to operate that way. So
Right. And I can only imagine, listen to this, a place like Tokyo where the language barrier is different,
right,
where you know what I mean? Everything is culturally different. You don't
right,
understand them. They don't understand you. You know what brought you together? The music.
exactly, exactly. That nail on the head again. Like that place, it was like as soon as I touched down, I felt like I was on Mars. It was that different from what I was used to. And they were so
Right,
far ahead technology, wise, but like in terms of music, like like Japanese people, they know soul music more than we do. I
right.
mean, I went to bars where they had like, the B sides they'll play and the stuff that they would really like, you know, they had records that I never knew existed. And at the same time, um, I was able to, I started just picking up on a lot of soul singers that, they would bring them to me. Like, have you heard of this? Have you heard of that? Well, I didn't know some of them had solo records. A lot of them were still touring over there. So I had a chance to meet a lot of other live performers and stuff. So it was,
Out
I
there.
mean,
Let me ask
that's
you
good.
this. Oh, why live versus track? Because you do a lot of live audience performing. You don't do a whole bunch of track performances. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right, right.
Why live versus track? And tell me why you choose that format over track. Because you do, answer that for me.
In short form, we all at a certain point you gotta realize how you affect the world. You know what I mean? Like what your strong suit is. Like if I walk in a room, like I know what not is expected of me necessarily, but I know how to approach, a room. I feel vibes from people. I when I get in a room with people, I feel it. You know what I mean? So I'm able to um that analog is important because reaching people to me is important musically. That's the point of it. That's the purpose, I believe. But like with the digital, just reach. I think now it's super important because we can't be with one another. But it's just tough to capture. Like even now I'm talking, but like in reality, if we're sitting in the same room with each other, maybe I would, you could my movements, my the vibe that I'm giving you, you'd understand, you know what I mean, and you'd be able to respond in ways that would probably lead me to other, I'm gonna say this now or move like that. Or it's not scripted.
Right. It's nothing like that live interaction is what you're saying. It's nothing like
Absolutely.
being there in person to feel the person's
Mhm.
energy or vibe or things like that. um
Yeah.
so you like live because it's people can feel the music better. Is that what you're
Well, I think
describing?
the communication is better. Like I think it's people metabolize music at at that level. When you're in person, they feel you just met somebody. You know what I mean? Like you shared an experience with somebody. You both and their energy, is quite the same. It's a give and take. But like I feel like even when if I'm talking to a phone, it's like it's it's impersonal. You know what I mean? It's like there's a certain etiquette you'll have live that you probably wouldn't have. You know what I mean? It just
Right.
on handheld or you can like you can sit in your drawers and talk like this and nobody. There's tricks to the
We giving up all our secrets, right?
you
No
know
bottoms, all tops.
you did. End of the
I can
day.
only show y'all to a certain, height
Listen,
of me.
so how about this? Listen, how about this? That's what live is about. Live is like I can show you better than I can tell you. That's what live is about. Like
I got
my words, I might mince my words, I might mix some shit up, I might say something or
you.
do something. But if you're in my face, if like I'm gonna convey to you exactly what I need you to know. You know what I mean? And if
Right.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from the Bay Area, so I'm from Fairfield, California. Between Fairfield and Vallejo, like um that's my region. I've lived in LA, you know, over 20 years
No, and I'm gonna ask
back
another
and forth.
question after this. So the reason I'm asking you this because I want to segue and
Uh,
talk about me and your relationship, me and your relationship and your other Drew Gibson, how we
Yeah.
met and how long we've known each other.
Man, it's
Okay, so
like,
let me say this. Let me say this about you. I'm gonna give my aspect, right?
oh, come on.
You were my first real industry experience in the
Wow.
business.
This is true. That's true. That's
I'm
true.
talking about talent management wise. You were the one that I went over the first contract with. I had never looked at a contract.
Man, and you know what? I was just on Jay King's live earlier today. He's putting a samba record out, a soul samba record out that's actually dope. I was listening to a couple tracks, man. On a
Uh,
business on business, that's one of my that's somebody I look up to, like, to this day. You know what I mean? Like massive respect, because
mhm.
Philly Blunt, Phil Armstrong, that was producer.
Yeah, rest his soul. Right.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Um, so Jay, that was actually the contract you were going over. That was our first contract. Um, yep, yeah, man.
That was
That
over how long ago? 20 some years ago.
absolutely. That's some
That
time.
and TJ, when I look at you, listen, I want to say this live. I want to say this live, hands down. I've never told you guys this. Um, but I want to publicly thank you guys for entrusting us with your careers and teaching us what this real industry is about, because you guys were the first real situation in our lives that even gave us something to even be or have a reason to be in the industry. You understand? Like we
I
had
get
other
it.
stuff going on,
Right, right, right.
but hands down, I had never had any situation where I would have to go fight for that was getting ready to perform before thousands of
Yo,
people at one time.
man, that's wild.
You know what I mean?
Because
Or
going
let's
back
talk
after get the
about,
check, making sure that we signed off
yeah,
on this and we got every it was a lot. You
traveling up and down the road, getting on the airplane, going to where we needed to go, Dayton, Ohio, the
right,
Bay Area, constantly every day, every other week. You know what I'm
man.
saying?
We
Um,
in the Hyundai School.
Talking to people, negotiating money, making sure that they got details right on the bill when it was time for y'all to perform. No, 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 no. It's TJ Gibson and Drew Gibson. Put their
Right,
names correctly
right.
on the
People don't understand it. Like
roster.
who at a certain point, if somebody gets your name wrong enough, you're not going to answer. They don't understand. They could tap you 50 times. You say your name wrong. It's written down. Ask me how you say it if you don't know. Simple.
Right, right. So I just wanted to publicly put that out there.
Love.
And listen, we go put this on the table too. There was a point where it got a little bit uncomfortable for us, and I'm gonna talk about this.
Talk to
When
me.
I had advised the fellas not to go after this, record deal, and they went for it anyway because they
Which deal with which
felt.
deal with the Sony thing with or that was with Jay. And
But
that was
but but listen. I want to talk about that because
listening.
even those moments like that where we're at a point where we are on the table, we got the contract sitting right there. What
Right,
should we do? This is going to offer us this amount of money. It's going to get us out of our what you call that contract. What was that contract that we had, the other contract that you had that you were tied to,
you're right.
that
The
had,
production deal.
yeah, the production deal. That's going to get us out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So what do? We are all on the table pulling our hairs out. We ain't even
right,
gray at that time. We ain't older. We ain't mature.
right,
We young. And and
right,
and this is like what to do.
right,
Um
right,
you
right.
were my first everything, TJ, in the
And that was
industry.
That was the first time. You know, here's the deal. Where I understand the way you felt then because now, like I've always urged every artist I've worked with, I've never had a conversation about how we're gonna get a record deal or how it's always about how to approach the world. Who are you? How you being seen? How to be respected? How to you know. eh, Are you, is it freeze up?
No, I'm here.
The screen froze up. Um, and at that time, it's fully clear to me now because we were already in motion. We were doing everything we were supposed to do, but like
Right.
that, like obligated us to a place where you know, uh, that's a whole world. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother universe. And there's no way to prepare for that.
At all. At all. And listen, you guys were so hot as independent artists that the world was coming after you. And that as management, we weren't prepared for. We
Right,
didn't
right,
know that the work that you guys were doing was gonna draw and bring that much attention. All we
right,
knew is let's get in the car, let's go perform. We got to do this gig, we got to do that gig. Let's keep it going. That's all we knew, but we didn't understand the concept that once you put that energy out there, the
right,
world is gonna react to that. Not only
exactly,
the world, but labels,
right,
VPs, people with these type of deals that they're offering, these type of deals. There,
right.
we didn't realize to connect the dots with that hey, they're hot enough where when they appear on the Jenny Jones show back then, that's how archaic we go back.
Right,
That perhaps somebody is going to see that national moment and want to come after them.
right, right.
You know what I
And
mean?
absolutely. And without having, without proper consultation, everybody's going to be scattered and not know how to move and what's going on. And, so there's going to be a lot of independent moves being made that is going to make for a difficult time if we don't sit down and, understand what that all means. But like I said, we didn't have those references either, so
We didn't. You were my first everything. So I didn't know anything before that to
right,
even compare it
right,
to or and I'm gonna say this. When we severed our ties, that was my first industry heartbreak too. That
right.
I was depressed. I cried for some days. I never told you this stuff. Like this is the real deal. Like
Wow.
I'm really going
I'm sorry.
into a lane that we've never even discussed. This is the first time we're talking about this. Yeah, I was very depressed after that, after the split. And it's kind of like from our end of the spectrum, from my end at least, when you put a lot of energy, it's like taking a baby and nurturing it from newborn to now they're a little older and more mature and dang, okay,
Right,
they don't need you as much, but us parents, we never want to hear that.
right,
You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I felt like, dang, these babies then grew up now. The demand has changed and everything. It doesn't matter what you did. The world is coming after them now. And if you're
right.
not able to really handle the pressures of that,
Swallow
then
you up.
it has to go so that they can grow.
Hmm.
And that is where that's the point we got to. And very heartbreaking. I was depressed. It was a lot because you guys are our everything. We live together. Hell, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right,
Uh, we were everything to each other. Period.
right,
Like we were each other's existence. We shared food together. We had to for a season stay together just to make things make more sense. So that
right,
when it was time to travel, all we had to do was pack our bags and go. We didn't have to go get y'all across town
right, right,
and
right.
bring y'all over here so that we can head out. Like we needed everything to be at the foundation and at the base to make things more simple and make more sense. So that
right,
when these and you guys were a hot ticket. It was crazy. You guys were being
right,
called a lot.
right.
Like y'all
We don't.
didn't rap. Y'all looked like rap artists, but y'all sang. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? The market for real singers, that ticket is hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When Faith Central first opened, I remember that when in LA, when Faith Central
Yeah.
first came to the forum,
Right.
and it was time to book artists and stuff for that. You guys were recommended and highly recommended to be artists that got booked that day. And I was like, wow, like seriously.
Right.
So things like that, it's like you guys there was a great demand. And I just think as young management that didn't really understand, all the loopholes, the ins and outs of this game, I don't think we could handle it. And then it was kind of like, you got to let them brothers go so they can grow. You got to let them go so that they can grow and evolve and blossom into the men
Right.
that they were. And it started when you guys went to Japan. That's when the change
Right.
started. I think when you guys culturally got to see another part of the world and then you came back to the States, it was like, what is this? You know what
Right.
I
Right.
mean?
Right.
What is this that we dealing with? We don't have to do this because,
Right.
you know what I mean?
But
It was hot over there.
we didn't have any natural predators in Japan. Now Japan was like it was just an opportunity to like really you make money, save money, and you perform, and got to see the city and you meet people, and you don't have you know I was just starting to drink or whatever. It was just more like growing up and being around mostly what I mean older people. So it was like most of our career was just around older people. So the game was different. Like just understanding things
Right.
was another animal. So they'll feed you the game that they would do, a move that they would make, or a situation that they would try to. And sometimes you learn by getting in over your head. You know what I'm saying? And but it,
Experiencing it. You have to walk in those doors and just get that experience. So let me ask you this: for artists, how important is it to um register your music, your writing? Talk to us about the publishing side and the writing side and how important that part is.
um, well, I mean, if you want to make money at all, if you if you want to be recognized at all, it's paramount. It's first things first. Before you write a note, before you sing a note, before any of those things. If you get into this industry of music, you have to understand how to own whatever it is you're doing, or who owns it, or how to what the splits are, or
Split, because sometimes there's co-writing deals too in situations that you go into of partnerships and stuff like that.
right.
So yeah,
And when you get into a place where you're creative and all this sort of stuff, like life happens. There's depressions, there's things mentally that you go through. Life occurs around you, and sometimes if you're in this bubble, creating or you know uh you know figuring out what you need to do next, or how you need to put things together, what happens is you know you you lose sight of how to establish whatever it is you're doing, as opposed to just creating. You know what I mean? There's an establishment to
yeah,
it, and the publishing
right.
portion of it, that is the business. That's your music living on beyond yourself as an
Ooh,
artist. So
ooh. Like the
that's it.
Sam Cooks and the Marvin Gayes and you know what I mean? All the
Right.
legendary artists who have come before us. The reason why we have their music to listen to, it's captured and vaulted, and it's you know
If
what
you
I
want to,
mean?
if you want to use their music or deal with their music at all, you have to deal with a publishing company. So, if you want to move into any level of enterprise in the music industry, I mean, you beyond a label, I believe it should be publishing. Owning the rights and having a share in that. And making sure that you know how that's how your music's distributed. You keep track of where it's at, and there's a lot to it. And honestly, these are the basics that I've been having to tie in the last, you know, year, several, couple years. So,
Right.
that it can hinder your a full career if you don't get those things in order. It's kind of like, you can sing songs, you can be visible, people will see you, and sometimes you want to make sure you stay relevant. So much so that you forget those other things. But when you see somebody disappear, a lot of times it's because they're getting their business straight at that level. And once they do that, when they reappear, you know,
Yeah, everything's on the table at that point. Yeah.
they're not reacting anymore. They're acting. You know what I mean? There's no more, dodging, or you're actually moving forward. And that's
Right,
that
right, right.
foundation that you can move from.
So I had to,
You gotta
we
laugh
finna
and say
switch
something.
gears a little bit.
Okay.
I
Because we used to have our
I want
talks. Man,
I
so
want my people that watch this show to actually, if they've never heard TJ Gibson in a singing capacity, yeah, I don't use these big words, bro. Look,
capacity is cool.
right.
Yeah.
My brother over here looking at me like, what? Who is this foreign person that's on the other end of me? Because that is not my sister.
That is hilarious.
Right? Like,
Right.
who is this lady? Because that's
Who
not my
are you? What are these words you're saying?
that is not my sister. My sister,
Yeah. So what is he? Capacity. Okay. All right. Okay.
right? Capacity. But I would love for our audience to hear your vocals if that's a possibility. I know it's pretty early there in LA. Um, Look, he
Yeah.
drinking something. He like, yeah, let me get it,
Man,
let me get it woke up.
yeah, man. Me. No, absolutely, Sean. Thank, thanks
Whatever
for
comes to
putting.
heart and mind, we would love to hear something that you just love, or whatever comes to your heart to do. We would love to hear something.
Um. I gotta think of a song. This is all right. In a world of confusion, misery and doubt, it's good to know God will bring you out. There's no problem that's too hard, no. That's too hard for God, no, no, no. God is all, He's all the world to me. Yes, He is. He's food when I'm hungry, yeah. He's water when I'm thirsty, yeah. He's love when I'm hated, yeah. He's my peace, yes he is. He's my robe of Sharon. Oh, God is all the world to me. It's
And a lot of
early.
people don't know that you guys had a gospel background too. You
Yeah,
started in gospel.
absolutely.
That was so beautiful, Tim.
Thank you, Sean. I mean, thank you.
And I know that's like just live here. I know that ain't that ain't the peak of the heights of the.
I, I was hoping that when I opened my mouth and sang my voice didn't crack. I haven't sang today at all. It is kind of early, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's early, and I knew that it would be, but you did that. People can kind of hear. They can hear the real raw deal. Um, you know what I'm saying? I've been up since 4 a.m. So on my end, so
well,
I
good
ain't
morning.
just waking up.
Good morning. Man.
I'm not just like but yeah, you guys started out in gospel as gospel. So when we were out there promoting, we weren't promoting R&B singers, R&B music. You were doing gospel.
But you know what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It, categorically, music is always, it's always going to be put in a zone. But like, um, we nominated for a Dove Award for the record we did when you guys were managing us, by the way. And uh, I don't think that was it. It was an inspirational record, is what it was called. So
Right.
like, so that being the case, it's like the genre that we were put into in the industry was gospel, but and we've done gospel records since then. But like that record was categorized prior to us getting together like an
Inspirational.
inspirational record. Yeah, so um, yeah, but
I
I like to
remember.
delve in all genres.
Huh?
So I like to I like all genres of music that got some level of soul in it, man. So
What's coming up in the future for TJ Gibson?
um, well, the project, but I mean, I'm gonna kind of let that unfold. We're gonna talk back again as this unfolds in the next. You let me know when we could do this again, and I'll have more information. But I'm kind of trying to keep the cap on what I'm doing now. I'm learning to
Okay.
you know to to let to let the movement speak for itself. So but there is a project on the way within the
That's
next
that's
month
festering.
or two.
Okay. I got thank you. So I want you to always come home to the Queensy Live experience and give us updates and check in with us and
For
all of
sure.
that kind of stuff. And the next interview, I want you to have your guitar with you
I will. I will. I will.
that
I
you
will.
learned how to play you self-taught
Yeah.
with the guitar. Tell us
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that. Tell us about that.
Well, I bought my first guitar actually in Japan. I started playing out in Japan. So, um, some of the most gifted musicians to date that I met were there. Some of them probably went on tour with other artists and stayed or whatever. But um, I picked up a guitar and I want to have something that I could write music with. And, I could take with me as a guitar. So, um, learned a few chords, wrote a couple songs, and then um you know, that's been like a primary writing tool. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's amazing. I remember when you started learning, I was so excited for you. I was like, whoa, hold up. I didn't expect this. Hold on.
you
You
know,
know what I'm saying? I didn't expect that. But it was such beautiful art to see you bond with your guitar and really hit those chords and sing to the chords. Oh, just beautiful. Beautiful. A beautiful relationship made and bonded between you and your guitar.
I used to take that. Now I took that guitar everywhere. I don't care where I was at. I would have my guitar. My nephews, picked up a guitar. Now I'm like proud now. My nephew.
Really?
Yeah, he's gifted, man. That boy, he's gifted.
So
Vocalist,
maybe one day
songwriter,
he'll play
expert.
for you, during a live segment if y'all haven't done that already. That would be dope.
You know what? Well, he's in a bay, but like I'll maybe he'll play. You can get him on the show.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that'd be
I'll have
great.
my guitar though. I'll have my guitar with me next time we
That's
connect.
what's up. Tim, well, you have been powerful and amazing. You my bro. I always got love for you. Where
I
are
already know
you?
for sure.
Where are you on social media? Give us your social media deals, spills, handles.
Yeah. Right, right. Um, well, um, I guess I'll give you the gram. The gram's Mr. TJ Gibson. That's at Mr. TJ Gibson. That's Instagram. But I'm just
Okay.
now I'm just formulating all most of my My handles will be Mr. TJ Gibson on social media. So I gotta.
Mr. TJ Gibson. Okay.
I'll.
I
I'll,
got you
I'll
also on Facebook itself as T.J. Gibson. So that's your name on Facebook. For those that want to follow him on there, and the rest are at Mr. TJ Gibson.
Correct.
So oh,
And the website, I have my website up this week is tjgibsonmusic.com. So
TJ
I'll have all
Gibson.
my information there. So
Okay, I gotta oh, I'm not gonna tell you which child, but I'm about to be a grandmother again.
wait, what?
A grandmother.
Wait, again. So wait, I already know which child it is. It's Star.
No, don't try to guess it. Don't try to guess it here because the cat hasn't really been let out the bag
Wait,
all the way.
what?
It's not Star.
What? Okay, I'm gonna lay back. All right. Okay.
Look, so don't you feel like a old uncle? Like
I do. I do. Absolutely. I'm like, it's not Star Nisha Russell. Nah. I
right.
I
Star was my child that stayed with me. She was with me in the business too. Everywhere.
Star. She was hilarious. She was a little comedian too.
My sidekick, she stayed with me in the office. Remember we had the office in LA, and
Yep.
she was and now she has her own business that's doing really well. She sells detangling brushes
Hmm.
and
It's
products and stuff like that. She has
a
her
niche markets.
right. So, but she's smart as a whip. Like what I love about the stimulation from the industry that she received is that she learned a lot with being with me everywhere that I went. She picked up a
Ah,
lot of things that I wouldn't think that she would even notice or pay attention to.
right.
And here we are, grown, a mother, and just killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm so proud of that. And I done had tons of kids since too.
Chilling.
When we met y'all, we only had two. We only
Right.
had two kids. So that's how archaic we go back.
Wow. Wow. Y'all got
But
a
I
village
now
now,
have
huh?
7 total kids. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, damn.
Wow.
He got a drink to that, look.
I got it. That's,
Oh my God.
whew.
How's your brother? How's Drew doing?
He's well. He moved into the mountains. He moved out of the city. So um I got over there to visit him not too long ago, but he's doing well for sure.
And your nephew and niece have gotten so big. Like,
They
wow.
have. They have.
So big. That you're an uncle. It's crazy. You're an uncle. It's just wow. Time has went on and I'm just listen, I'm so happy to be your sis and that you and I still remain close to this day. We have a great relationship. And
Right.
I'm so grateful that you stopped in at the Queen G Live experience to give us this moment
Thanks
and this
for having me,
update.
Sean.
Of
Thanks for
course,
having me.
of course. And I want you, anytime something is getting ready to go to another level or take off and you need to, come here and give us the updates, definitely feel free to hit me up like I did you
Will
spontaneously.
do.
And
Will do.
let's go.
For sure. For sure.
I love
Boom.
you, brother.
Sean, I love you. I appreciate you. And much love, much love and respect for your show. And I wish you much success in all your endeavors.
Thank you so much. Okay. And we'll talk soon. Okay.
Absolutely.
Have a good day, brother.
All
All
right,
right. Bye
Sean.
bye.
Bye bye.
Y'all, listen, that was my brother, TJ Gibson. I love him so much. Like, whoa. We have been through a lot together and worked together. We lived together. We just went through a lot of ups and downs in the entertainment business. And I had to get him on here because I'm coming up on my 47th birthday. And when I think about the years of entertainment that have been invested and time and things like that. When I call on my brother TJ Gibson, he's always there. And it just reminds me of how long I've been doing this. Like my early 20s, guys, like 25 plus years. I'm probably coming up on my silver anniversary or something like that. That's how long it's been. And I'm just grateful for TJ Gibson and Drew Gibson, who they were pretty much my first real industry experience. And I can't believe that so much time has went by, and that I'm just so grateful for them and teaching me the game and the industry and how to write contracts and how to do this and how to do that. You've It's nothing like hands-on experience of getting out there and trying it and doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what that relationship with us was. We all got out there and did it together. So I want y'all to continue to tune in to the Queen G Live Experience. Post, like, share, and share these videos and interviews with others, because there's a lot of good information on here. And for all of you entertainers that are endeavoring to get out there, there's a lot of ups and downs in the game and industry, and it's not simple. It's not easy. But here we are. We can get on here 20 some years later and talk about it and have a conversation and drift on our memories of what it was like to get out there and be raw, fresh, new. And it was because of them that I learned so much, about the industry, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to have TJ Gibson on my platform today. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is your girl, Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of your amazing Sunday. Okay? Have a good day. Bye.